Hey guys, today we're going to take the Volvo out for a bit of a cruise. You'll be able to see it driving. I haven't started it yet, so it's going to be a cold start, and then we'll take a drive out into the country, and then I'll show you around the car a bit more, the controls, and all the kind of weird stuff from back in the 60s. So hope you enjoy this drive. I'll talk as we're going along and try and explain some stuff. Okay guys, we need to pull the choke out. This has a starter, like a push button start. It's kind of hidden under here. I can show you more when I get out of the car, but it's a strange place to put it. So here we go. Clutch in. There we go. Starts very nicely, this car. Doesn't take much choke because the weather's kind of warm in California here. Today's a smoky day, so I hope that the visibility is not too bad. So here we go. I haven't driven a stick for quite a long time, so I'm still getting used to the car, so you'll have to excuse any jerkiness or anything like that. I get my wife to close the garage door. These seat belts don't give you much room. They're very primitive. You can see that all it is just like a hook, and they just clip into the hook. So they're very primitive. If you had different size drivers getting in the car, using it every day, it would become probably a little bit annoying to keep adjusting them all the time. So we're just used to, you know, kind of modern seat belts, really. So here we go. I love the strip speedometer here. It's kind of very old school, but looks pretty cool. It's nice at night when the dash lights are on, because it kind of glows like a green, which is very, very nice. It's a little bit hazy today, but not too bad. At least it's keeping the temperature down. We've had temperatures of 100 degrees plus, so now not too bad. Changes gear quite nicely. Gauges work. The temperature gauge works pretty good. It's pretty accurate. You know, if you're in traffic, it'll creep up. If you're going along, it'll drop down. The fuel gauge, I believe, is quite accurate also, because I've noticed that, like, if you go downhill, you get more in the tank, and if you go uphill, you get less in the tank. So it seems to be okay. This car has the benefit of overdrive, which is nice. So when you get on the freeway, it makes the RPMs drop like way down. change is smooth. Gas pedal feels a little bit heavy, so sometimes you're afraid to press it too hard in case you give it too many RPMs, but it's just a matter of getting used to it. This has Makani, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, carburetors. I don't know anything about these carburetors. The guy I bought it off, the consignment guy, he didn't know anything about these carburetors either. So if they need adjusting or anything like that, then I'm going to have to do some research to find out how to adjust it. Here we have a lot of open countryside and fields, so it's kind of nice to go out cruising. It's quiet most of the time. Nuts around here, and I don't mean just because we're in California, but I mean like walnuts. So it's harvesting time right now, so sometimes it gets pretty dusty. In the spring, when all these trees are in blossom, it's really pretty. It looks like snow. And when the wind blows, it blows all the blossom off the trees, and it's like being in a snowstorm, so it gives it a good effect. Cars aren't the quickest cars in the world, but you know, they make for a nice drive. I'm going to put it in overdrive here. The overdrive switch is like an aftermarket one, so I just press the clutch pedal a bit. It helps it engage a bit smoother. Different models give you a different feel with the overdrive. This one I found is a bit jerky if you don't like give it a little bit of clutch pedal. So now we're cruising at 60. Engine's relaxed. It doesn't seem to be revving too hard. I don't have a rev counter in here, so I'm not sure, but I would be guessing that it's probably doing about between 2 and 2,500 at this speed. There's a few rattles in here. It's an old car. I mean, you know, 55 years old, 54 years old, so it's expected. Temperature holds good. It runs on a quarter when we're running along mainly. If I stop, it probably creep up to half. The day I bought it, it was like an excessively hot day. and when we were in stop and go traffic, it did creep up towards the hot, but as you get going again, it does cool down. But maybe if I was driving a lot in this weather in California, you may need to put like a slightly bigger radiator or a fan, electric fan or something like that, because you know, the weather's quite unbearable really. So I'm going to flick it out of overdrive. If you clutch, it helps it a little bit, makes it smoother. Quite nice acceleration really. I mean, you know, it's twin carbs, so this one's been bored out. I believe it was a 1.8 when it like left the factory. It's been bored out to I believe equivalent to a 2 litre like the B20 format. It also has B20 heads on, which I'll show you when we look at the engine, which is they were for fuel injection, but what they do, they cap the injector holes off in the head. I wouldn't have known all this, but the guy that I bought it off, he explained this to me. I'm not a Volvo guy. I've had a lot of Volvos over the years, coming from the UK. They were the only cars that ever lasted. You know, they rusted out. English cars rusted out pretty quick. Volvos seem to last that bit longer, and plus they were reliable. So, you know, I had mainly Volvos, 145s, 144s, 244s, 245s, that type of thing. And then after that, the 70s, I didn't really have any more Volvos. I bought one in the 2000s. It was a V40, which, to be honest, I think they lost their flavour a little bit. I didn't own any more Volvos after that until this one. But this one's very nice. Actually, they fly under the radar because, you know, I was looking for a wagon. I was looking at American cars, American wagons. Some of them are really long, so I was looking at something like more compact, like a Ford Falcon wagon. But they command quite a high price, really. So I saw one of these, and I thought, you know what? They're pretty good-looking cars. I mean, I think they styled themselves after the American, for the American market. They kind of look a bit like a Dodge from the front, and maybe the back, but you know. So anyway, these are more affordable, I think, and you don't see many around. They didn't import so many to this country, and also the figures. These were the wagons were the lowest figures for for this 122 market. The saloons were more, so hence you don't see many wagons around really. So I do go to car shows, and I've never seen one of these wagons at a car show. So next time we go to the car show, I'll take this and check it out. But they stop the cars and coffee in the town where I am because you know, people doing donuts and burnouts and stuff like that, and you know, people just get tired of it. So anyway, they stopped it, so now hence we don't have cars and coffee anymore in this town. So here we go, orchards of walnuts. But it cruises along nicely. 60 miles an hour is really, really comfortable. 70 on the freeway is also pretty comfortable. These cars are quite small actually. You know, in the UK they were kind of like, I would say, a mid-sized car, but in the US, when you're on the freeway and even like a Honda CR-V comes by you, it kind of dwarfs these cars. They're very narrow. I have a 73 Mustang, which I'm going to do a video on coming up, and that car is so much wider than this car, and also a lot longer. So these cars are quite small, but the cargo space in the back is pretty good cargo space. These were used a lot by antique dealers in the UK for cramming furniture in and stuff like that. So they were popular in that way, especially like the 140 series and then the 240 series. They were great cars also. I had a Volvo 145, and it was a 1974. They just come out with the bumpers got bigger, like a Dodgem car bumpers, and you know, when you had one of those cars, you didn't need parking sensors. If you were parking, you go back till you tap the car behind, go forward till you tap the car in front. Not that I ever did that, but you know, you didn't need parking sensors for sure. We have a lot of corn growing also. I don't think it'll be a corn maze for Halloween because it's too far out of the country, but kind of fun. Okay guys, we've stopped at the side of the road. I just wanted to show you the inside of the car and all the controls. So starting on the driver's side, the first thing we have is the push button start here. This was an afterthought. They had a tendency to break keys off in the ignition, so people put aftermarket starters in. They would put them in different positions, probably mainly in the middle of the dashboard, but this one is at the side. A little bit awkward. Moving on to the first button, we have the wiper switch, followed by the choke button, and then the lights. We have the indicator stalk here, Nice big steering wheel and chrome starter ring. Moving across to the other side, the ignition key is here. This is the overdrive switch. We have the cigarette lighter. Everybody smoked in the 60s, so that was a necessity. And we have the fan blower motor switch here, the heater controls here. Nothing fancy, just defrost, hot and cold, and I guess there's one to bring air into the car. 4-speed manual transmission. This was originally an M40 transmission, which meant it didn't have the overdrive. It was switched over to an M41, which is an overdrive transmission. Since you guys last saw the video, I did upholster the seats with Gorilla Tape. I probably won't do much with the seats as they're not the original, so I'll just use it as it is. Quick look at the inside. This car does have the quarter lights here, which is a nice feature. You know, you can turn them all the way around, so you don't need air conditioning. It'll blow the air in as you go along. Obviously on a hot day it probably wouldn't do much good, but anyway. Has the outboard handbrake here. I believe these were going to be fitted with a bench seat at some point, or that was the thought, but they never got around to it. So moving on to the back of the car here. This has the nice split tailgate. It's kind of flavored after American cars. I would say this looks a little bit like a Dodge, really. That's why I like it, because it's different, you know. So this splits into two. We have the number plate. When you drop the tailgate here, this actually swings out, so the tailgate and the number plate is visible. If you have a load, you're still within the law. The number plate is still visible. Quite a bit of room inside. These cars, they're a little bit agricultural to me. They remind me of I had an early 70s Range Rover when they were made for farmers and not a status symbol. And this is a little bit like that. Obviously it won't go across fields and stuff, but it's very mechanical. You know, you just I don't know, you know, you just feel like you're actually driving a car, whereas these days you know, they're just like jelly bean cars and built for comfort, really. But these were I would say a middle of the range car, not as quality as a Mercedes, but better quality than a lot of cars. Originally this was 3,200 approximately US dollars, brand new. I have the original sales invoice, and you could buy a Mustang brand new in 1967 for between 2,500 and 2,800-ish for you know, a standard Mustang. So this being 3,200, it was an expensive car at the time for a make and model that were probably not very well known in the US. They made about 75,000-ish of these cars throughout the run. That is taken into the ones that are in Europe. So I'm not sure how many were imported into the United States, but when I go to car shows, I'm the only one with one of these cars. I've never seen one at a car show yet. So there you have it, guys. I hope you liked the video. Please subscribe. My next video will be my Mustang, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Bye.